guys. We are live right now. Just getting ready. I'm ready to talk. There's some things I want to share that are good. That's some good stuff. So once I see people, I'll begin. I'm going to react to a video. Coming at you guys live from Dallas, Texas on a beautiful Easter morning or afternoon. We're about to get started in just a minute. I hope everybody's having a good Easter so far. We'll get started in a second here. But I'm very excited to share this with people. Nothing bad. There's just some stuff I want people to know. And I'm going to be reacting to a video that is of me. And this has nothing to do with YouTube. It is on YouTube, but this has nothing to do with live streaming, and this has nothing to do with other things. This is just about, what's the word? This is about something that happened to me in my kid passed. That happened when I was younger, and I want to share it with the rest of the world. And I'm prepared for the backlash that may come with it, but at the same time, I feel that it's necessary to react to this video and share my story about when I was younger, and maybe I can open up people's minds. And hey, thank you so much, Chills. I appreciate it. That was gonna be today. I was gonna talk about that a little bit, not too much. But I'm gonna react to the video, and I want other, maybe somehow, some way, other people can see it, and maybe they'll come around. Well, thank you. I love my mom, truly, truly, truly. I could not have asked for a better mother in the world to take care of me and a bunch of other things. But this is how it is. And so, in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna play this video because I feel the need to share this message with the rest of the world, and I'm prepared for the backlash that may come with reacting to this video. But this video is about my past as a kid, growing up, and that's just what we're gonna do. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, and then I just want you guys to know my situation. This is not to twist. This is not meant for likes. This is not meant for swaying other people's minds, especially given situations. But I'm hoping that this message could be shared with the rest of the world, and we can move forward, even if I have to move forward from it on my own. Even if it's for my own viewing to watch later on. And I don't care if 100 people see this. I don't care if 4 people see this. But I want to make this because I feel it's necessary. So give me 1 second while I get a drink of water. Hi, Ghost Tiger. If you knew me in real life, I would agree. But there's a lot of stuff going around. So today's stream will be about positivity, awareness, and give you guys even a brief glimpse of what my past was once like. And it wasn't like a homeless situation. It wasn't anything of that matter, but it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. So in a couple of minutes, I will be I won't show it because I think that'll be a copyright thing and I don't want to deal with that. So I'm just gonna share my reaction to the video. For any kids, I highly recommend that this is a situation that you don't want your kids to watch. I would highly, highly, highly suggest that mostly adults watch this. And my hope is, I do ask though, if your opinions aren't kind, and if your opinions aren't respectful, especially respectful, I do ask that you either leave or you keep them to yourself, because I feel what I'm about to share is something I'm kind of afraid to show, but it's necessary. But I'm prepared. This could be a great thing. This could be a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing, and I feel the need to share what I'm about to share in a couple of minutes. But this is not for likes. This is not for, I'm just here to, I'm going to just give you guys a listen in to what my path, and this is from my own mother. Not on the stream, mind you, but on the, what you're about to hear. And feel free to share this out if you so wish, but that's not, provided that you guys are seeing this right now. I really feel that this is important, that I need to share this. And if it gets more backlash, I'm fine with that. But I think this is a good thing. What I'm about to do right now, I believe, is a really, really good thing. But I do need you guys to understand a good number of things. And so I want to share this, a video or two, maybe a couple, I'm not sure. But I do want you guys to be aware that what I've explained it was my life at one point, and how I'm here where I am now because of it. And so you guys are going to listen to my mother, my own mother, But please keep your opinions to yourself. I would highly, and thank you for all that can comply with that. So, without any further ado, I'm gonna get started now. And if you see, hold on. This is not easy what I'm about to do, you guys. I just want that to be aware. I just want you to know that this is not easy what I'm about to do right now. But this is necessary. This is absolutely necessary. I want you guys to see this. I'm gonna show this. Okay, maybe I'm not gonna show it, but you guys are gonna listen. Yeah, what I'm about to show is very, 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 very personal. And so I please just ask that you guys keep it respectful. And without any further ado, my friends, I'm about to play it right now. And I think there's at least a couple of these. So I'm gonna show them now. And hopefully I don't get through this. Hopefully I get through this. Okay? So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna start with the 3-minute video first. All right, here we go. I'm gonna turn it up. I'm not gonna talk during this, okay? All right, here we go. I'm gonna play the video right now. You guys just listen, and hopefully there are no kids watching because this is not geared towards younger audiences. Here we go. 1, take a deep breath. 2, 3. Forgive me if I get emotional during this. I've seen this multiple times.
He came out delicious and lovely and calm and put together every time he got a vaccination. A little bit of that went away every time. He had the MMR.
I don't know if I should. I might get in trouble.
It's only looking back
with YouTube
and taking in all the data and taking in all the video and taking in all our situations that it's blatantly obvious.
I'm not gonna cry.
He was about 18 months old, and we were starting to do all the birthday parties with everybody, and he couldn't hang, and doing the kids' classes, and he couldn't do it. He just cried all the time. How about a gummy? And my husband looked at me and he said, "There's absolutely no joy in his life." And there was none. Give the baby kiss. And it was at that point I knew we had a real problem. There was no language. What book are you reading? Teletubbies. Okay, Mommy's gonna turn off the camera. There was severe gastrointestinal distress. There was tons of sensory issues.
The wheels going round and round and round.
You said plow?
Plow. Plow.
In retrospect, I feel like he was poisoned. I look at him and I see a sick, ill child. We took, 3 short.
I just wanted you guys to know that most of these are happy tears just because of where I am now. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Birds everywhere because of the drool. We took diapers everywhere and extra pants because of the diarrhea. At my first NAN conference, we were already seeing some success. So it was just liberating. It felt like hanging with my peeps. Yeah. It was good. And I think my second NAN conference Baxter went to as a recovered kid. And I said, we really want to thank Dr. Remland too. And he said, I said, maybe when we're done, we'll write him a letter. And he said, I want to write him a letter right now.
You have a little letter here. What does this say?
Dr. Rumbler.
I was 5.
Hey, Rimland, I forgot.
Well, read.
Okay. Thank you for helping me and all of the other kids get better. I love you. Baxter Burley, age 6.
We've come so far. He wasn't supposed to be able to talk. He wasn't supposed to be able to be in a regular school. He wasn't supposed to be doing anything that he is doing now.
Teacher Baxter's talking.
So that was kind of like a mini little thing that was 3 minutes, you guys. So I think there's some in its full entirety that's a little longer that I can explain. So here comes the other one. And for some music that might be shown, I may take it down just for the copyright claims. So enjoy the video while you guys can from what I'm showing.
Here is my beautiful son. Isn't he gorgeous?
This is my mom.
I know I look incredibly smart and like I have a PhD and an MD and a couple other degrees. I don't. I have a couple degrees, but not one. So my disclaimer is I am a mom. I am not a doctor, but I am incredible and I'm fabulous. If I'm really good and you like this talk, I dedicate it to my beloved Bernie, Dr. Bernard Rimland, who, give me a second. Without him, there would not be a recovered Baxter. And I owe it all to him, and he passed the day before Thanksgiving in 2006. And if for any reason I'm really not good and I'm not impactful, then I don't dedicate it to him because I only want to do well by him. So why am I here? Why am I here? We're done. I'm just never cease to be amazed by people that I encounter that don't know and fully believe that you can't recover or improve from autism. And I'm a special education teacher, and that was my training. There is no recovery. There is no recovery. Wrong. And I'm here to spread the word. I am here to change that belief, and I am here to instill hope in each and every one of you parents, educators. This is not a foregone conclusion, and I'm not trying to change anybody that's happy, but my child personally was miserable, and it was very important to me to alter that misery. So that is why I'm here. Baxter was born very neurotypically. He was a C-section baby, but his APGARs were fine. Isn't he cute? You can see like 8,000 pictures of how cute my kid is. Baxter actually is a family name, and actually both names are family names. One is my mother's name, and his middle name is his last
We're just
name.
listening.
Both mothers' last names. Baxter is a regressive case. He developed typically for about a year. You can see right here some really intense present eye contact at 1 month. I love this picture. And yeah, like his pants, I like his horizontal stripes, emphasizing the gut issue there. He was very present, completely put together for about a year of his life. His father is a musician. He was very, very present to the music. His milestones were not early per se, but they were within normal boundaries. And you can see those there. He had.
Thank you,
the most
Ghost
significant
Tiger.
for me was language. He had. Getting some feedback. Oh, it's a phone. He had more words at a year than he did at 3 years of age. So, I'm sorry. Did I mention my kid's really cute? Because I told you. Here's one of the first pictures I have of now, in retrospect, seeing a bit of a problem. The red cheeks, the red ears is indicative of some bacterial and fungal overgrowth and some allergy issues that I didn't know at the time. But he is cute. This is what happened at 12 months of age. And he's just gone. You can see that he's gone. Those are his adorable cousins, a year or two older. And that picture fills me with complete panic. He started drooling incessantly. Couldn't control. I took a couple shirts everywhere because his entire shirt was saturated because he didn't have the muscle control. Constantly anxious, totally anxiety ridden. The picture with Santa Claus, the sideway glance, like he couldn't even look. The eye contact is gone. He was very anxious. Brand new baby brother. It was a piece of cake when I had my second child because everybody talked about sibling rivalry. Well, I had no problem because my child didn't even notice that I'd had another baby in the house. Sorry for the why there. I don't know what. Sound sensitive. Yeah, totally. Any noise all of a sudden became a big problem. And he was very stressed, always. Couldn't brush his hair with a baby hairbrush. I cut all tags out of his clothes. He was very tactile defensive. Couldn't swing on a swing, vestibular uncertainty. He had a really hard time. It looks like he's having fun on my shoulders there. He's not. I think my esophagus is probably permanently bruised from the death grip that he had on there. And this all happened, as I mentioned previously, at the 1 year well visit, and he had a quadruple live viral load of vaccinations. I do believe that Baxter's autism was mostly due to vaccinations, toxic levels, and from a variety of sources. But
it's true.
He did develop typically, and then all of a sudden lost language. He couldn't transition. It took us forever to get him in and out of the car. All of a sudden, my life just became very hard, very hard. He was not good at eye contact. He ate tons and tons and tons of food. Pasta, bagel, cream cheese, pizza. And he drooled a lot, as I mentioned, and this
played into the whole gluten card, guys.
And that was out of control. This is the
gluten
first thing that I
is
addressed.
bad for me.
So I'm now noticing that the speech is gone. We have developmental delays, and the diarrhea is crazy out of control. So that's the most obvious place to go. And the best pediatric specialist, and he's best in quotes, told me, I just can't help you. I can't help you. And that was completely unacceptable to me. How can stooling 35 times a day, because I counted, bright yellow liquid running down his legs, how can that be?
Sorry, my hand is shaking.
How can you not help that? My child was in pain. My child was hurting. My child was ill. So I'm adopted. So after that lovely visit, I was like, well, what do I not know about myself? Maybe there's something else I don't know that's part of his component. So I suspected Fragile X, which is the most common form of mental retardation, and we did have him tested genetically, and it did not end up being the case. But I did go down that road as well. So now what? He's 7.5 now, and this was 5 years ago or so, and there was no answer. There were no information. Nobody could help me. I had dial-up internet at the time. I can remember sitting there at 12 a.m. Oh my God, wait, can you bring up speech delay a little faster than that? But so lots of doctors that couldn't help me, and lots of money chasing what I was trying to find. Here he is having a lovely gluten and casein free, not free, big old pasta bomb there with cheese and butter. And you can see the marks on his face, his vestibular uncertainty. He fell quite often back then. So given that problem and that addiction, one of the first things I did find was the diet. And for Baxter, profound. The child had no language, and 2 weeks later started talking. And it was 2 weeks of complete and utter hell. And I hated every minute of it. And I cried all the time because he was, if you think about it, he was addicted to these products, and they made him kind of gaga and kind of nutty. And when I pulled them, and I pulled them dramatically all at once, I didn't withdraw them slowly, like a drug. If you think about heroin or you think about crack, or they do that gently, and there's a reason that that's done. I didn't know that. I didn't know what I was doing. I pulled it all very dramatically, and he went into severe withdrawal, and he basically went nuts. But so I pulled all wheat, I pulled all dairy, I pulled all soy, because it's very, a molecular structure is very similar of the protein of all three. And it was, like I said, it was awful. But at the 2-week mark, my child started talking. At 2 weeks, I got mama. I got mama at 2 weeks. So that was worth all the pain. And the other thing I did that I would highly recommend, if you haven't started this diet yet or you're considering it, keep a journal. Buy just a notebook. Here's what he ate. Here's what behavior I saw. Here's what supplements I did. Because you aren't going to know. You aren't going to remember what you did, what behavior you saw. You aren't going to remember. So I actually just by default kept a journal, and I would highly recommend that. And don't go cold turkey, as I said.
So there is one more for the ones who just are tuning in. We're listening to my mother speak about my past and what I was once like at one point. And so we're just kind of taking a listen. I'm prepared for any backlash that I'm probably going to get. And to be perfectly honest, I may not keep this video up. But I just want it to be known. I just want it to be known that we're reacting to what my mom and our family at one point. And I'm not saying this for likes. I'm not saying this to justify wrongdoings that I have done. I'm not saying this to justify or do anything. I just wanted to share. I wanted to share with the rest of the world about my situation when I was younger, and that gets misinterpreted. I need to look into that information, GT. If there's a way that I can contact you, maybe via Facebook or something else outside of the stream, I will be happy to answer your questions. But please know that I no longer qualify for the label anymore. So I just want, you can have all your opinions to yourself, but I just want you to know that I don't qualify for the label anymore. I'm gonna get a nice drink of water. I saw Jenna come into the stream. Hi, Jenna. Are you still here? We've just have been taking this time to we're listening to words of my mother. This is not okay. I will. All right, GT. I'll contact you later on sometime this evening. And we are listening to my mother because I'm not talking about YouTube exactly. I'm talking about just as a whole. There's many people out there from past experiences that have been unaware of our situation or what we once went through. And I decided to have the courage to shed some light on the matter about what life was once like. And this is nothing, I'm not saying I had it worse off, but it was rough. It was very, very tough. So I'm gonna get a drink of water right now. And then once I'm done drinking water, we will listen to this other video of my mom. And then once we've done that, we'll move on to the next thing, and we'll see where that takes us. But I hope everybody's having a very blessed, exciting Easter with your family. And yeah. Okay. I got my swig of water. I just want this to serve as a warning for anybody that has younger kids viewing this right now. Please, this is not the stream for them. This is going to be a positive stream, but this is not meant towards younger kids. This is a mostly adult scenario that we're doing here. As you guys, I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm gonna have you look out the window. You see? It's a very nice, beautiful Sunday afternoon. And so we're going to watch this video of my mom, and we are going to I'm just gonna listen. So you won't hear me talk through this, but I just want you guys to listen. And probably because of a copyright thing that'll come up, this will probably not last on the internet. So just try and enjoy it, or at least try and just remain respectful at all times during all this. And I appreciate everybody's understanding. So without any further ado, without any more further hesitation, this is going to be about 27 minutes. And then later on tonight, I will regroup with you guys. We're going to watch the Orlando Magic and the Toronto Raptors playoff game, which starts at 6 o'clock. Yeah, Jenna, I hear what you're saying. Don't want to. Well, deep down in my heart, I want to say that I agree, but given where certain situations are, I don't want to say that, because then I'll look like a jerk, and I don't want to look like a jerk more than I probably already am. So I just want this to be a happy moment, and we're just gonna keep. Welcome to the mod team, Jenna. I just wanted to say that. But please, everyone, keep your opinions to yourself. And I'm gonna play this. And I kindly suggest that no young kids watch this, and that you keep your opinions to yourself. But this is factual. This was my reality, early years of life. So 1, 2. Oh, Baxter. 3. This was taken in 2007, you guys. Like I said, there's copyrighted music in this, so I'm probably going to take it down. Just enjoy this while you can. Hi, James. Welcome to the stream, buddy. I'm not going to be talking during all of this, you guys. We're gonna listen to my mom.
How our next two speakers work, they do everything with video.
This is not
Just
my
how
mom.
it works. So you guys are gonna see video. So let me get that going. Hold, please.
I'm not done crying from the last presentation.
Oh, you're fine. Let me introduce you. Don't go up there without me letting you in.
Waterproof mascara.
All right. The next person up is this little something something named Julia, who now runs our Taka Los Angeles. And she's pretty amazing. Very spunky, lots of fun.
I just wanted you to know we still lived in Los Angeles during this time. So a lot has happened in the 12 years that this video was made.
Fine, you're gonna have a good time. What's nice? Are you being spunky behind me?
I have gum in my mouth. My mother would kill me.
What I want to do is just tell you how amazing Julia is. Again, she's another parent that could leave autism in the rearview mirror, but she's so excited to be here and so took her husband to task. Well, we're talking about it, Dolph. No way we're not talking about this. She's been featured in the Generation Rescue. Her son, Baxter, has put out USA Today ads about him. She's done countless of videos, and I'm just so thrilled to call her my friend. So welcome, Julia.
And that was my mom's good friend, Lisa Ackerman, you
I
guys.
knew I was getting that intro. I think I would have probably stayed back a little longer. The first thing I do want to say is I'm completely aware that it's a privilege to be here. I think that it's luck to be here. A little bit of hard work, but I'm aware of that scenario, and here I am. Although I'm incredibly brilliant looking, I'm not a doctor. So there's my disclaimer. I went to a conference for something completely different about a week or 2 weeks ago, and there were about 30, 35, 40 people total. Not one of the people that I interacted with knew that there was hope for recovery for autism. Not one. That shocked me, because autism is now my life. So one of the reasons I'm here.
This is true. Although I don't have it, it literally is about helping other families, you guys. It literally is her life. Ever since our whole ordeal, this has been her life. But I admire my mom for it, because she really, she's done a lot more than what one might think. So take a listen.
The purposes, the reasons, the hope, the desire, the wish is to change
I'm not going to
that.
talk.
We need to educate the entire universe that this is not an epidemic that cannot be reversed and cannot be changed. And secondly, hope. You know, when I was in my darkest and most desperate days, if someone had said, wow, my kid got better, part of me would have been jealous, but part of me would have been motivated to keep working. So this is why I'm here. If you have any doubt or reason why I'm here, that's it.
So I just wanted also to make this clear. You don't have to agree with any of this, but I do ask that you respect this. So thank you.
Baxter was born in 1999. Unremarkable anything except for his C-section, and I would puke my guts out for 8 months. Other than that, it was fine. He was a regressive case. If you want to play the regressive versus non, he was very clearly regressive. He was very connected, very put together. Horizontal stripes, not his friend with that big gut, but he was. I try to stay away from them myself, but he's very connected the first year of his life. You can see in his eyes, he's completely present. This is his first Christmas. Very cute. Connecting with other people. His developmental milestones, like recently, none were particularly early, but they were within normal limits. Described by the American Academy of Pediatrics. This is who he was 2 weeks after his first birthday. He's gone. And he was gone. And it took about 2 weeks to. I can only see that now looking back. It wasn't obvious to me then because we can justify everything. I'm a special education teacher by trade. That is my training. So I knew something was wrong with my child. And I was desperately, not everyone has this reaction to autism, but I desperately did not want that diagnosis because even 5 years ago when he was diagnosed, there was no hope. There's no future. There's no nothing. So I tried. He has 4 or 5 separate diagnoses from the school district to a couple developmental pediatricians to a couple others. So I did not want that. But we were told that he was 2 months behind linguistically, 2 months behind socially. He would probably never, get out of diapers, and he may need a special school, and deal with it, Mom, deal with it. And it may get worse, and you're probably, you need to manage your expectations with their wonderful crystal ball that there is no cure for autism. So I was pissed. I got my, don't even go there. I was mad, and it actually worked in my favor because I had been so sad prior to this point. I was sad. I knew there was something wrong with my child, and I was just sad, and the angry factor motivated me. I'm not proposing that you all get angry, but it did motivate me to help take care of my child. And you don't have a crystal ball, and you can't tell me what he's capable of doing, so shut up. I'm sorry.
Truth.
Here is one of his 4 or 5 diagnoses. This is the most visually easy to see. And one of the first things that we dealt with was the most obvious were his GI issues, his diarrhea. He was diarrhea, yeast, awful. So that was one of the first places we went. And he was 2 years behind in language and socially. Like the previous parents didn't really do it correctly, pulled everything cold turkey. Boop. Don't do it that way. It was, he went bonkers, he went ballistic. I pulled his crack, his heroin, his meth, his whatever else you got, I pulled it. And the kid went nuts, and he screamed for 2 weeks. I actually inadvertently pulled soy too, which I would consider if you haven't done this yet, because they're very molecularly similar, gluten, casein, and soy. And get a food sensitivity. We'll talk about that in a second. But that was what I did, the very first thing that we did, and it was tough. It was tough. I got on the Yahoo boards every day crying. I can't do this another minute. I can't do it. And again, it's because I did it incorrectly. But in 2 weeks, I had a child again. I had a child that called me mama at 12 months of age, and at 3 couldn't even look at me in the eye or call me anything. And there he was again. And I had a name. It was Nah. Called me Nah. But I had a name again. And we started getting vocal approximations, and he started talking, he started engaging, and it was incredible. 2 weeks of dietary intervention. So for Baxter, dietary intervention was very huge. He'd been in speech therapy for 6 to 9 months. I can't remember exactly right now. But nothing, just every day going, nothing happening, not interacting, nothing, screaming, crying. And the diet, all of a sudden, we were just like, whoa, who's this kid? And he started talking. So this launched me into biomed. If changing his food can have that much of a dramatic response, what else is there out there? So we found Dan Doctor. We've had a couple. Here's a website for you, which I believe is in the packet, Lisa. Yeah. So don't worry about copying it down. Find a David Doctor locally for you. Testing is imperative for our children to find out what's going on in their bodies. Their bodies are kind of screwed up, and everybody's kid is slightly different. The answer for my child is not going to be the answer for yours. So this testing is important to figure out what's going on specifically for your child. So if you find a doctor that you feel comfortable with and you want to work with, and they ask these things of you, which typically are not currently covered by insurance, don't be alarmed. Decide, if you have to prioritize. But these are things that we did on Baxter, and we routinely did on Baxter to keep a picture of his puzzle and find out what we were working with. Supplementation. We talk a lot about supplementation. He has been on all of these things. Some of them work much more than others. He's a big gut kid. I have to do a lot of probiotic stuff. I still do probiotic. Different ones. I do diets still. I do a lot of this DMG, TMG, B12, chelation. All of this, you have to manage it through a doctor. So going through one of these one by one is not as imperative as understanding. If your doctor looks at your child's testing and says this would be beneficial for your child, they're not up to lunch. This is there's a lot of stuff that can help our children. They have flawed bodies, so don't be surprised if you get a list like this. I would also ask for your doctor to prioritize it if cost or overwhelming. I have 3 kids now. If my third child were autistic, that would be much harder than when my first child was autistic, because you've got other stuff to deal with. So ask for help in prioritizing. Supplements, again, if you get this huge list, go low and slow. I was one of those parents that I don't care what fixes him. 3 years ago, I don't care what fixes him, just fix it. So I threw everything at him. But then when something goes wrong or something goes really well, you have no idea what it is. Go low and slow at one at a time. Most doctors will not say 3 to 5 days. They will say, 7 to 10 or 2 weeks, longer, because you need to figure out what's working and what's not. So I understand the just intense nature to want to fix your kid, but you have to know what's working or what isn't. I also still rotate probiotics, different brands, different strains. If you have a gut kid and I have a gut kid, listen to your doctor, but trust your instincts. There have been a couple times where I didn't really like what my doctor was telling me, or I tried it and he kept getting worse, and then I stopped what they suggested, which I don't think is necessarily smart. But you're the parent. You're with the child 24/7, and you're not always wrong. Talk with your doctor. Just listen to yourself, because this is still something we're figuring out. Respect your doctor. Get a second opinion, but you know your child. I think we as parents are intrinsically connected with our children in ways that doctors don't necessarily understand. So just don't forget that when you're thinking about what you're trying to fix. You can't be, in my opinion, or Baxter's opinion, 2 years behind and not need traditional therapy. Baxter had 54 hours of therapy a week at the height. And that included his school. I put him in a traditional preschool without an aide, which may or may not have been a good thing, but that was what I did. And he had lots of, I enforced one-on-one speech therapy, which they weren't going to give me. They hate me. I enforced one-on-one OT, they weren't going to give me. They hate me. 10 hours DTT, guess what? They weren't going to give me that either. They hate me. But you are your child. If your child can't talk, they can't get in there and advocate themselves, you are their only advocate. Get in there and do it. You're not their friends. You are your child's advocate. So Bax got better on GFCF, a lot better, but the diarrhea did not totally go away. So it's at this point somebody tells me that specific carbohydrate is more gut healing than GFCF. I thought GFCF was gut healing. I didn't know that. It's not. It avoids some offensive proteins and it makes it easier for our children, but it's not healing the problematic situation in there. That's the way I understand it. So I found specific carbohydrate, or SCD. Basically, this is a diet that only allows simple sugars, monosaccharides. And the theory behind this is a monosaccharide, there's no more, it can't break down anymore. It's as simple as it gets. So there's nothing left to feed bad gut bugs. There's a trisaccharide or a disaccharide is leaving food for bad bacteria. So simple sugars, monosaccharides, are in fruit, honey, vegetable, and other foods that are allowed in the diet are ones that don't contain sugar. So there goes all my GFCF stuff my kid loves. No more gluten-free waffles, no more rice, no more potatoes, no more french fries, no more chips, no more. And it was initially very hard. But I'll tell you, it was just one more rung in the ladder for Baxter. It was one more step. IgG food sensitivity is a must on this diet, in my personal opinion, because it's a lot of nuts and a lot of eggs to help facilitate it, and he didn't have problems with either of those. So, but if you're not feeding the bad stuff that's making our kids sick, they die, and the results for Baxter were very dramatic. Poop. Who here talks about poop? Can we talk about poop in this community? Poop got better on GFCF, but it was still sludgy, sticking to the bowl, kind of gross. But I'm telling you, my childhood was perfect poop. It was great. No more OT. We graduated OT. Once he acquired language, he was he just chatted all the time, and scripting stopped. And there are a couple references there for you on SCD, which again, it's not perfect for everybody, but for Baxter was very great. Here is the proof of how it helped heal his gut. Lysozymes are an indicator of inflammation in the intestines. Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis. These numbers on the top here will be elevated. You can see that the number I have circled is 3,000. The high end of that is supposed to be 600. So he's 5 times out of the normal range. 6 months SCD, he's almost making that high. 6 months. It's not even like it was 6 years or anything. So it was really, really helping heal his gut. In addition to some of the stuff I've already mentioned, I really believe that vaccinations, and most specifically for Baxter, because he had a pretty significant source, was thimerosal, which is 50% mercury by weight. And this is what we were knowingly injecting into our children, and still are, regretfully. If you don't see the Jolly Roger there, would you like me to move? Because it's that big toxic symbol we're injecting into our children. He had a lot of toxic exposure, and some people will say, including this doctor, that you have to weigh about 550 pounds for that to be EPA allowable. And others will also say that some of the symptoms of autism and mercury poisoning line up 1 for 1. So I believe in Baxter's specific situation, that mercury had a lot to do with his autism. I've got a big mouth, and I had a big mouth full of silver fillings. I got one when I was pregnant. I ate a lot of tuna. Remember back in the late 90s? Eat protein, moms. Eat protein. Have a can of tuna every day. And I was also a rogue mom, and all of that had mercury in it. So that's a pretty tough fetal exposure for a little dude. In addition, he had other toxic exposure, which I would include antibiotics. He had acute pyelonephritis, what I would attribute to his mercury exposure. Viral exposure, MMR, chickenpox on the same day, that vaccination. He just had a lot to deal with in the first year of his life. So now I figured out that I think mercury has something to do with his autism, or might. So I didn't really want to test him because I knew it would be tough on his gut. But my husband wanted to, and my doctor wanted to, so I went ahead with it. It was very hard on his gut, and it took 3 or 4 months to recover from. But he hadn't had any toxic exposure, mercury exposure rather, other than just living in the universe for 2 years. And his creatinine is very low. And if you know anything about genetics, it would be off the charts if his creatinine were in the normal range. So this is a mercury toxic kid. This is his very first mercury provocative test. I think chelating is definitely, and you guys hopefully saw Dr. Jim talk, and I'm about to say that we did transdermal. We had a highly effective result with transdermal DMPS. So I'll fly through that. I couldn't have done oral with Baxter. So we have a lot still to figure out, but chelation comes in a variety of forms. So we did day on, day off transdermal, pulled tons of stuff. 7 months after chelation, he lost the diagnosis, and there it is. Yay. That was a really, really, really good day in my life, and it's actually the second birthday. Baxter gets 2 birthdays. The day he became a new boy and the day he was born. And that is his urotoxic metal test the month he lost the diagnosis. And there he is looking different 1 year apart, the only difference being chelation. This slide I would like to take 2 seconds on because it's his report card and it's fabulous. But it's also, I'm going to take a moment to brag because he's a grade level ahead right now, which we're all sort of talking about. That
This
our
was in
kids are really smart for
2007, so
whatever
this is a
reason.
little old, you guys.
So these grades are a grade level ahead, but I show this, again, not to brag. I show this to give you hope. They told me my child had 0 capability. They told me to put him in an institution. And this is an A and B report card, a grade level ahead. So do with it what you want. Think of me what you want. Think of my child what you want. But don't, nobody else has a crystal ball for your kid. So that's what that's like.
Great!
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all coming out and working so hard on behalf of your children.
I know this is copyrighted, but this is gonna get taken down anyway. Thank you
Came
guys
out
for your understanding.
delicious and lovely and calm and put together every time he got a vaccination. A little bit of that went away every time. He had the MMR and the chickenpox vaccination on the same day. It's only looking back and taking in all the data and taking in all the video and taking in all our situations that it's blatantly obvious now that that's what it was. He was about 18 months old and we were starting to do all the birthday parties with everybody and he couldn't hang and doing the kids' classes and he couldn't do it. He just cried all the time. Here.
This is me.
How about a gummy? My husband looked at me and he said, there's absolutely no joy in his life. And there was none. Give the baby kiss. And it was at that point I knew we had a real problem. There was no language. What book are you reading? Teletubbies. Okay, Mommy's gonna turn off the camera. There was severe gastrointestinal distress. There was tons of sensory issues.
The wheels going round and round and round.
You said plow?
Plow.
That's me.
Plow.
In retrospect, I feel like he was poisoned. I look at him and I see a sick, ill child. We took, 3 shirts everywhere because of the drool.
I just wanted to clarify this is not for likes, but this is just to spread
extra
awareness.
Pants because of the diarrhea. At my first stand conference, we were already seeing some success. So it was just liberating. You felt like hanging with my peeps. Yeah, it was good. And I think my second Dan conference Baxter went to as a recovered kid. And I said, we really want to thank Dr. Rimland too. And he said, I said, maybe when we're done, we'll write him a letter.
If you guys,
and he said, I want to write him a letter.
If you guys have anybody that is affected by autism, or especially considering this is Autism Awareness Month, please feel free to share this stream out and have your friends share this stream out. Because I want to spread awareness to people that are having a really hard time right now. And you don't have to agree with what you're hearing. You don't have to like me. In fact, I don't even care if I get unfriended or all the dislikes in the world. That's not what this is about. This is about educating open-minded people about what life used to be like for me. And by showing this, that there are signs of progress and that there are things that can get better, hope for other families. I just want everybody to be perfectly aware. You don't have to believe this, but it is, I'm not going to get into the medical history, but it is documented. It is documented. I no longer fit the label of autism. Okay? And I do ask that you guys keep your opinions to, if you can't be respectful, please do not say it. Because we've been told a lot of things over the years. for the amount of hard work that my mom and I have done. So please keep your opinions to a respectful level, or if not, just don't say anything.
Right now.
Thank you
You
for
have
your
a little letter
consent.
here. What does this say?
This is me.
Dr. Rumbler. Rimland, I forgot.
Me at 6.
Okay. Thank you for helping me and all of the other kids get better. I love you. Baxter Burley, age 6.
We've come so far. He wasn't
You kicked Major
supposed
Hind
to be
End,
on the
James.
top. He wasn't supposed
Beating
to
the
be able
odds.
to be in a regular school. He wasn't supposed to be doing anything that he is doing now.
Teacher Baxter's talking. Yes, so. Mr. Baxter. Be quiet. Okay, when I call your name, you gotta say here or happy birthday. Camia? Here. Peter? Here. Now let's go outside and play. And please don't mess with the classroom. Hey, wanna
That's
play
my
Power
brother.
Rangers? Please, everybody.
Was a second ago.
He froze us.
The biomedical approach, we would be nowhere without it.
Like I said, this is gonna get taken down,
What was for lunch?
but oh well.
I ate my hamburger.
It sounds like you had a good day. Peter, did you have a good day? Yeah.
This took a lot of
Oh,
courage
that's
to
for
do,
him.
guys.
If I had just listened to our physician, Baxter would still be autistic. There is no doubt in my mind.
These walls are full of drinks. Some kind of sensuous drink. Not so keen, but a weedy. Oh, girl, weak, but a huge bear.
I'm singing Warren Buffett.
We did a year of speech and got nowhere until we did some biomedical intervention. In 2 weeks, he made up, 6 months of deficits. He's acutely aware.
I'm just
how
telling
much
you,
everybody's helped him,
this was our
and God, so are
reality.
we.
Oh, this is gonna make me cry. Oh, this makes guys. I'm gonna cry on the air. These are happy tears, okay? This is an iconic song when we think about this era. And this is hanging on our wall.
Thank you all so much for your attention. I know I'm out of time, but I have to thank. We all have mentors in this world, and we don't get through this by ourselves. And we all have people that helped us, and which is one of the reasons we go on and help others. But I could not have done it without Bernie Remlin. Thank you, Bernie. I could not have done it without Lisa Ackerman.
Lisa Ackerman is my good friend.
I could not have
She's a
done it
part
without
of
my brother
TACA.
Sheldon as well, who's not here, and I could not have done it without Stan Curtis.
Lisa Ackerman, guys, for the Southern California people out there.
Video production equipment has been.
For the ones who don't know, Lisa is a longtime friend of my mom's, and she has been a supporter of my mom since day one, and our family. So pretty much Team Ackerman is just like Team Burley. For the people that are just exploding in here, believe what you want. I just wanted the world to be aware. I am not doing this for likes, to ask for likes. I'm doing this because this took a lot of courage. This was very risky what I just did. And I know there's probably some people out there that are probably doing stuff, but I can't be concerned with what other people do. But I just want you guys to know this was extremely hard, what I did just now. And this was not very easy, but I felt this was absolutely necessary to show what I showed. And I am prepared for the backlash that comes behind this, but this is how it was. This is how it was. So I just wanted everybody to know. Thank you for your listening. I want to thank the silent viewers, especially, that are listening to me right now. And hopefully, maybe you can kind of see. But I do want you to know that I do have a brain injury. And some stuff in the past that I for sure take accountability for. It goes beyond. And I know this sounds crazy. But when I said it way back when, in the early stages, I meant it when I said a good portion of it. I'm not saying all of it, but a good portion is beyond my control at times. And you know what? It really hurts. It sucks. And I'm sorry for sounding negative. I'm sorry if this sounds completely negative, but do you think I want to live my life like this? Do anybody out there, I genuinely believe not a single person wants to live in isolation or loneliness, fear of rejection. But there are people out there that are like that. And I am not afraid anymore. I said I wouldn't cry, you guys. I'm not saying I'm innocent. I'm not saying you guys should trust me. I mean, if you do, fine, but if you don't, okay. But I'm just telling you. I'm telling you right now that I am not afraid to admit to the world that I have a brain injury. It's a part of who I am. And although some stuff has gotten way better than most ever expected, the truth of the matter is I am a grown adult that is turning 20 years old on May 26, 2019. But there are parts of my brain. There are parts of my brain that are still, to this very day, heavily affected in a way where some stuff I do could come off across as childish. But please, don't always assume when people do, even if it seems like I don't take responsibility, you guys, in the early stages, sometimes I may not admit it right away, but I just want people to know I do eventually. I work, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get worked up. This is a happy moment. But I just want you to know that deep down inside, all those days, I put on a straight face, said I was happy, trying to be the shining light in your guys' eyes. Some of those nights were extremely, extremely hard to do so. But it was the power and it was the will of you guys. Because without it, I wouldn't have done it. I may have told you some of these earlier, So I want to get this off my chest. There were days, and some of you who I chat with can confirm this. There were days I did not want to stream. There are episodes up right now. I did not want to stream that day. But you know what? I did it. And I don't mean to mention these people by name, but it's for people like James, by Cameron, aka Cam's Corner, for people that and I'm not anybody else. I'm not trying to be anybody else. At the end of the day, my name is Baxter Wild Burley, and I am who I am. If you don't like it, that's fine. But if you are, through time and compassion, this is, I hope, I may not get it right away in the moment, but through the best parents in the world, I just wanted you to know that even though in the heat of the moment when I'm not thinking, and I know this is something I have to work on. I know it is. I know it's a wake-up call, for sure. But even if you guys don't really see how hard I'm trying, sorry, my feet are twitching a little bit. I really am. There haven't been, I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful. And whether I'm a true member of the community or not is no longer my concern. I am content with who I am. I am going to continue to try and strive to be better. And I am content, and I'm extremely happy for the people that stay around. And at the same time, even though it doesn't seem like it, somewhere in my soul, I know some of you, I'm not gonna, like, out of respect for people, I'm not gonna mention names, but there are people I know. There are people I know in my everyday life that it hurts them. Deep down, it hurts them that they yearn to watch me almost every time I stream, but it low-key hurts them inside. And I know there are probably people out there that are going to say it's not true and a bunch of other things, but I have this feeling, the feeling of God in me, and the feeling of other things that I'm just feeling right now. Somewhere in my soul, I believe. Then again, I don't know. This is only going off my own thing, you guys. So whatever else, I truly don't know what other people are feeling in their own souls, except for you, unless you tell me. But I will say, I have this feeling, and I'm not afraid to express it to the rest of the world. I have this feeling, my friends and people of the internet. I have this feeling that deep down, somewhere inside of you, I know you don't want to admit it, but I know there may be some people out there that are hurting for me and want me to keep improving. And I'm gonna keep working on that. And over time, I hope you guys can see that. But I'm gonna do the best that I possibly can to do everything that I preach, which doesn't always happen, but we'll see where it takes us. Let me just say, I want to thank everyone who has stopped in so far. I want to thank the 12 or 13, whatever many people it was, that watched me. I just wanted to spread this message of awareness to people that are struggling, that are going through this, and I just wanted you to know that you can do it. You can set out and be great. And as some of the videos from the past are shown, you guys got a tiny glimpse of that. I'm going to do an analytics check right now because I know that so all of my people in the chat right now, how are you feeling? Because I know there was a lot of I held my composure just as much as I could. So how's everybody feeling in the chat? What's going on with you guys? Because I've said my message. I showed you guys the message. And hopefully some things that didn't make sense in the past, I hope it's clearing up and it maybe makes a little bit more sense now than it did a couple months ago. I'm not saying I'm a victim. I know there's others that are very, very hurt right now, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not saying more so. I'm far from saying more so, but I've been hurt too. I have been hurt too. But I have the best mom and dad, and I have the best family. Even if I could lose all my subs tomorrow, it doesn't matter. Because I have the best family in the world, and that's Team Burley. And that's all I need. And I also have other people in the community that I've known for a long time that are my current Facebook friends that have been around a lot of my life. And that's the bottom line. So I just want you guys to know I'm not afraid. I'm no longer afraid. I'm no longer afraid. I was afraid. And some of the times I didn't want to admit that I was afraid. But I am afraid. Or no, I'm not afraid anymore. Is a better way of saying it. So I just wanted everybody to know you may not see it. You may not see it. You may never see it. But hopefully today I shed some light on a subject that, and especially because this is Autism Awareness Month, I only felt this was the appropriate, and to be honest, can we just be honest with ourselves, World Wide Web? This was extremely risky, what I did. And I'm prepared for anything coming after on my Facebook page. I'm prepared for loss of subs. I'm prepared. I'm just prepared. I shouldn't have to be, but I am. I don't take back anything of what I just showed in the stream. I don't take back any of it. I needed to get the message out there. There are a lot of confusing things, and I wanted you to hear it from me. I wanted you to hear it from me. Because I'm not gonna I know people aren't going to like this, but I'm not going to stand silent. I'm not here saying to the World Wide Web that I am not at fault for this. I have done some things that are very, very wrong. And I know it. But also, I'm not saying majority of it is, I'm not saying half of it, but a tiny portion, whatever that tiny portion is not. And over time, I just keep hoping that you guys can. This was more of a serious stream today, but moving forward, and I'll come back in about 4 hours, and we will have a watch party that'll be more fun oriented. But I needed to do this. I felt it. You see my chest right here? You see it? I felt it right here. My heart was literally pounding, and as I was playing that, my hand was literally twitching. Because this is some serious S or specific word that I will not repeat on the air. Because I'm trying to cut the swearing down. And I'm trying to just do it. I am not. What my YouTube persona is. Now I would be lying to you guys if I said I wasn't acting a little bit, because a very helpful friend of mine said all YouTubers, any YouTuber, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, anybody you watch, whether people admit it or not, they entertain. Because what's YouTube about? In my eyes, entertainment. So I would be lying to you guys if I said I'm not acting. I'm acting in a way, a little bit, but I'm also going to be straight up. And I'm going to tell you, my YouTube persona is my persona in real life. The whole compassion, the let's go, the get hyped, the everything. Talk to my dad. Talk to my mom. Talk to my sister, my brother. Talk to my nanny that I've almost known half my life. And they will tell you, they are around me all the time. I don't live on my own yet. So I'm around them all the time. They will tell you, I've had moments like any person has, special needs or not. I've had my moments. But I am still a human. I don't necessarily, at this point, my focus is not to do this to get back into streams, to convince, to sway, but this is to spread a message. And this is what, this was a glimpse of what I once went through. But that whole battle that happened almost 15 years ago, I'm in a whole different battle now than then. So I'm dealing with other things, but I hope you guys can see, and a lot of you, and a good portion of you, I would be so happy, like beyond happy to meet in real life. And I'm going to say this in a way that my brain, in the way my brain is processing at the current moment. I'm not going to lie, a little bit to show you guys who I am in real life. that I'm more than just this guy with this and this and the let's go, and the gosh dang whatever else you truly think about me. But nothing will ever stop me from loving this community, even if I'm no longer a part of it. I am perfectly happy with the people I still have, the people I could get along the way, and family. That's all I need. I can't please everyone. I'm not expecting to please everyone. But I am trying to help people more understand about who Baxter Wild Burley really is. And you guys can talk to my mother, who's known me since birth. Anyway, tell me you guys, everybody here, tell me what your plans have been for Easter. I've been kind of chilling out. I've been taking a shower. In about a couple hours, we will have a watch party. I'll probably do trivia tomorrow. I knew I was going to do it this weekend. I just wasn't feeling it. So we'll do trivia on Monday, everyone. Monday afternoon. And for the ones who can make it, great. If the ones who can't make it, that's okay too. But I just want to know that even though the chat's not active, and I know there are people in silence that are watching me right now, and just as likely people I've affected. And so I know people are watching me right now. And I just wanted you all to know that I'm nothing more than just a streamer. I'm more than just somebody swaying to get likes and dislikes and swaying people to think this and a bunch of other, as Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots would say, a bunch of hogwash or whatever. At the end of the day, I'm Baxter Wild Burley. And you want to know something? I'm proud to be Baxter Wild Burley. I am proud of myself, not for the mistakes I have made as a human. I'm proud because I have come such a long, 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 long way. And I'm not trying to put myself above anybody else that could be in foster care, whatever else. That's not what I'm saying. But I've had an interesting life. My friends. And especially what I just showed, a lot of that gets misinterpreted and misrepresented. And this is long before I even ever thought of doing YouTube. This is long before any of that. When it was just Team Burley. It's not just about Team My Family. It's not about Team Bax, really. Team everybody. I don't mean to sound arrogant. The things I say, because I wish my social stuff was a lot better, I say all of this. And again, I'm not expecting anybody to believe me. But what my father knows, and my father and mom know me better than anybody else, I do it. I do what I do the majority of the time. That may seem zany here. I do it as a personal confidence booster to boost my self-esteem. Because I'm going to be frank, my self-esteem, although it's a lot better now than it was a couple years ago, it's not that great. And so what I do is I don't care who judges me. These balloons you see right here, these sports idols I admire, these stuffed animals you see, these security blankets on my bed, everything that you've seen, this is me. This is what makes me stable. This whole thing is who I am. It's okay that you don't understand. It's okay that you don't like it. But this is what makes me me. This is what makes me the Baxman. These are the happiest things that I do to get through every single day. Along with unconditional love from my mom and dad. So, I'm sorry if it sounded like a rant. I'm sorry for whatever, but is there anybody in the chat down below? I'm not going to spend too much more time because I know you guys have other places you want to be. So, does anybody in the chat, or probably people that are saying things silently amongst themselves, is there anybody that wants the opportunity to say something, provided that it's respectful and kind and courteous? This is the opportunity. I'm going to give you guys about 5-10 minutes to say anything that you need to say before I come back and I take a 3-hour break, and then I'll be back again. Does anybody have anything they want to say? Because now is the time to say it. For the rest of the world watching on the replay, this is the time to say it now. Thank you, James. You rock too, buddy. You really do. You really do. Thank you, James. I'm just going to give you guys a couple of minutes. I've spoken for an hour and a half. I want to give you guys a turn to say what it is you want to say, because this is very interactive, and I feed off interaction. So I want you guys to get your where's Cam been, by the way? I hope Cam is okay. Cam is a really great friend. You guys should go check out Cam's Corner. I'm the #1 Disney fan out there. I believe that's his channel. Really awesome kid. Really one of the most positive, warm spirits I've ever really have yet to meet in real life. From what I've seen, anyway. So, this stream may not make it for music claims and a bunch of other things, but for the ones who did see it, I'm glad you saw it. And hopefully for some of you that may have, it's a sign of hope to help your kids get better. And you're looking at a prime example right here. So I just wanted to say that this is not about likes whatsoever. I did this to spread awareness. And for today, team everybody. Team societies. You know what? Team society, stand up. Guys? Hello? Bueller? Bueller. You know what? It's a stream. It happens sometimes. I know, James, are you the only one in the chat, buddy? Jenna? Daniel? Jonathan? Who's in the chat with me right now? I see you, James. I'm talking to the others. Where are the others? Where's my buddy Cam? I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm only going to spend a couple more minutes on this. And then we're going to have a lot of fun tonight watching the playoffs. Because I'm ready for some basketball. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm seeing 7 people in here. I just want to know if James is the only one in the chat right now. I'm going to do one last analytics update. This is something I like to do. I like to check on my progress, even though I don't like to let the analytics define me. Okay. So it looks like James is the only one in the chat. So let me thank every single person in here that has chatted. Let me thank every single person who's stayed through this, who's clicked on and off even at one point watching me, and as many as 12 people watching, and just whatever else. Thank you for tuning in to a very serious stream. This is a very serious stream. And I'm hoping no kid saw this, because this was not kid intended. But this was to spread awareness. This was also to spread understanding about me. This was to spread awareness just how, due to some of those situations, about how my brain, whatever else, can be interpreted beyond my control. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's documented. Not going into my medical history, but it's yeah. The truth of the matter is, I am 20 years old on May 26, 2019. And hold on, I lost my train of thought for a second. And the truth of the matter is, I am a grown adult, still maturing. Got a lot of stuff to learn, as John from Touring the Galaxy said. But instead of saying I can be a child technically, I think a better way of saying it would be, but there are parts of my brain, there are parts of the brain that are still very badly affected from a decade plus ago that I'm still dealing with today. And it doesn't feel good. I'm not saying you guys can relate, because I'm sure a great portion of you cannot, but I'm sure all of us, I'm sure all of us can relate to some type of struggle. Some type of struggle. That I know for fact, almost, that we all can relate to some type of struggle. And that's just what I'm saying. That's what I'm feeling. So it's about 2:30. I'm going to come back at 6 o'clock, my friends. Just keep in mind this stream may not, if it goes up, it goes up, but I think due to some music stuff, there will be a copyright claim, whatever, and there's a chance I probably will have to take it down. With that being said, I want to thank everybody. The chat was not as active, and I know that there are some that choose not to chat for reasons, but thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode 70. This may not officially be episode 70. The watch party might be episode 70. This just depends, but if this stays up, no copyright claims, there might be some because of the music. But with that being said, this stream will stay. I may take it down for my reasons, but hopefully the ones that were here today, they saw what they needed to see, and maybe hopefully, I'm not saying everybody and I'm not saying a majority, but hopefully somebody feels a little differently now than they did a night or two ago, maybe a couple months ago, whatever it is. Just know that this was not easy. This was not easy. Showing the videos I showed. That was extremely hard. This may go for better or worse, but I will not take it back. Anyway, my friends, make sure, especially if you know anybody with autism, especially, I want this, provided there's no copyright claims or whatever it is, I want this stream to get out there, and I want the world to know about my story growing up, and I want the people to know and be aware of it. So please, especially if you have ones that are affected by autism, especially, this is Autism Awareness Month, you guys, so this is a big reason why I'm doing it now. But please know, I do not have autism. I don't. I do not fit the label anymore. I am brain injured though, and that truly sucks. That truly sucks. So anyway, I guess feel free to, you can subscribe if you want. I would hopefully you do, but it is what it is. Make sure you guys press thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Make sure to tell your friends, especially about this video, and spread awareness. And just know that whether it's autism or whether it's special needs, their lives matter. I just wanted that to be known. They may not always know how to express it, but deep down, they're great people. And with all that being said, my name is Baxter Wild Burley, aka the Jedi Balloon Master, who also goes by Bax, the Baxman, a variety of different nicknames. I can be late for some things. Just don't call me late to buying balloons on Main Street, USA. And I will see you guys, if this stream doesn't make it to the air with no copyright claims, I will see you guys in episode 70. Or if this does make it to air, I will see you all in episode 71. Let's go! Let's go! And all I got to say is, God first. God bless. And as always, don't forget to keep it Team Society. I'll see you guys. I will see you later in a few hours. Have a good afternoon, everyone.